Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of the morning after the Euros. Mate, this was me for five
Yeah,
minutes.
you start. Like it's all on you. Like first 5-7 minutes is all on yours.
This was me, like my reaction when Mbappe scored the offside goal. I was like, firstly, the way
Oh,
he slaughtered, like he murdered. I was like, they're going nowhere. Ugh.
oof.
And then Hansi Flick is watching from the stands. I'm like, you should have been like downstairs like a month back. Um,
Not even a month back, a year back, because Joachim Low should have left this job a long time ago.
yeah, I mean, he was in the Bayern coach, so that wouldn't be possible. I was
Yeah,
speaking,
yeah,
uh,
obviously. Yeah.
yeah, I was speaking to my, like, I had a meeting in the morning, speaking to my supervisor. Yeah, we spoke about this, and he was telling me something like, yeah, Low should have left. I was like, yeah, he should have left in 18, no? He's like, no, he should have left in 14 because once you're at the peak, the only way you can go ahead is like you will go down.
Yeah, the Nico Rosberg way, basically.
Yeah, the Nico Rosberg way. And once you're at the bottom, the only way is on top. So Hansi Flick has this opportunity to like just like switch this.
It's a good job, doesn't he? Like that's a good job to get into, honestly. Like
Yeah,
it's a
and I mean he was the assistant to Low in the 14
yeah.
World Cup.
Hmm.
Yeah, but wow, oh god, it can only be better. I'm yeah, they, like I'm lost for words. They created their first chance in the second half, and
Yeah.
like I was clapping with some of the drunk Germans with me in the beer garden, and we're like, "Ah, endlich eine Chance," which means finally one chance. So we are celebrating the chance, like the the Gnabry one, which he like knocks
Yeah.
down and it goes over the
Yeah, yeah,
post.
the one, yeah, that was close. Like
Yeah,
that's the only basically like one or two chances that Germany created. Okay, let's get into the actual game.
yeah. Let's go for it.
Germany didn't know how to create a chance like to threaten France. Like they didn't know what to do. That's how I felt watching this.
Yeah, dude. And you told me yesterday, like, don't play three at the back. And and they played three at the back. And I didn't have an opinion with three at the back. The only reason he
Hmm.
played it was because they played Latvia and they fucking beat the shit out of them. But it's Latvia and this is the
Yeah,
world
that
champions.
what that means nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't have an opinion about the systems. Like if there are
Hmm.
great players and if you
Hmm.
his philosophy was the Latvia game and like play the best players.
Yeah.
But you told me yesterday that don't play three because then it gives too much space on the wings. And Kimmich,
Yeah.
where is he? He will never defend. Like he's always like going bombing forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And Mbappe is using that space. I'm like, I don't know how it did not end 3-0. Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah. Well,
3-0.
France didn't convert, so yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Rabiot also like hit the post, so it could have
Hmm.
easily been like 4-0. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think you should be pretty glad, no? Like Pogba was running the show, man. He
Yeah.
had the game.
I've seen that before with France many times, but the thing is that the problem with him at United is
He doesn't
first
have a
of all,
Kante.
before Bruno Fern, no, but after Bruno Fern, like first there are two things, right? He needs somebody to be the main focal point of the team. That's what Pogba needs. The first thing he needs is that, like show should not run through Pogba.
Yeah,
Pogba should not be the guy dictating the play and be the main man. And the second thing is he needs somebody to do a bit of the defensive work.
yeah.
Those two
So
things are what you need. That's
yeah,
all. And United have not been able to provide him with that. They provided him with the main man at least, and now they have to provide him with a defensive partner. So
yeah. Uh, I mean, what did you think about like how France are playing? Like I was uh, like they were on it. It's like no hangover, no,
hmm.
because you either win the Euros and then you fuck up in the World Cup, and
Yeah,
you win the World Cup and you fuck up in the Euros. Of course, I'm not saying
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
France
yeah.
has already won the European Championship, but they have something to play for, not because they don't have the hangover. Of course, they have the hangover, but they have to play for what they lost in 16, which they were not supposed to
Hmm.
lose. So
Yeah,
that's the drive that they are
yeah. There
getting.
is that motivation, right? Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And the interesting thing, like France, this is basically the blueprint that France have, right? They got their goal, and then they were like, "We'll lie back.
Yeah.
Let Germany do whatever they want to do.
Which they were
And
not
that's
doing
what,
anything.
yeah. And even then, even if they were, I think France would have held on, because I think Kimpembe looked solid. Varane
Yeah.
and Kimpembe were able to basically clear anything that came in, and Germany's
True.
crossing was so poor. Like, it was so weird to watch.
So
Like,
much to be
nothing
desired.
hit no head. And like,
Oh
I think
yeah.
Kevin Volland's 8-minute cameo, I think, explained everything in the end, right? Like that's what basically Germany was, that they were trying shit, but nothing was coming up. Nothing was actually happening for them. And I don't know. So, like, the XG will tell you something else. Like, look at the numbers, look at the statistics.
I've not watched
This
the
is
XG today, but yeah.
yeah. Tell me, like, the XG says that XG is according to XG philosophy on Twitter, it was 1.22 Germany and 0.29 to France. Is that what how you would describe the game if I had to tell you, if I had to tell you to describe the game in one sentence? No,
Yeah.
right?
No. I'm just
So yeah, we
yeah.
were talking about this yesterday also. So
Oh, no, actually,
I
you got
thought
it.
it
Not 92. It's 0.29. So like
2929. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and 1.26.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So there's a lot to be desired with that system as well. It's
Yeah,
like the duck
no,
with
look at it as a metric. That's all. I don't want it to be perfect. Like, no metric should be able to describe a game, and that's how it is. That's all my point is. I don't have a problem with the metric.
yeah. I wanted to
Yeah,
make another point about Germany, but
yeah.
yeah, it just slipped off now with the metric. But yeah, um, what I mean, Benzema was pretty much. I didn't. They basically like played with just like the midfield, and they didn't miss Griezmann or Benzema, who like were basically not present. When you say that a player is not present in the midfield, it is because
Hmm.
he's so good. That's why you cannot see what he's doing. But with these
Yeah,
front two,
but both those guys were doing a lot of defensive work, and I
yeah,
was very impressed by that. That's what this France team is about, and that's what I wanted to bring up about Didier Deschamps.
hmm,
Like, there is something, the culture that has been created by this by the management and the coaching. It was fascinating to watch, because there was everybody was doing everything that was told of them. Like, they were putting in a shift. Everybody on that team put in a shift. Like, even from the German side, yes, but the problem was that Germany had the ball but didn't know what to do with it.
yeah.
And
And this is the point that I wanted to make. It just made me
yeah,
feel like wow, I'm watching like early club days where teams could just park the bus and you could just not break that wall down. It just
yeah.
felt like so repetitive. Oh, not even like early days. It felt like this winter time when anybody was
Hmm.
coming, like 17 games, you win just three of them. Like you just couldn't break them
Hmm.
down. So it was just like cross after cross, nothing is happening. You cannot
Yeah,
penetrate.
yeah,
Nobody's like whipping the ball like
yeah,
30 or like banging from a 30 yards.
yeah. Van Hal's United were a bit like this as well, like quite similar actually.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
wow. I mean, yeah, but for France, stars, yeah, is there's only way like they're going to like push on from here. I mean, they're going to play Hungary next, so basically they're out of the group. I mean, they're out of the group, not of the
Yeah, they'll qualify.
competition.
Yeah, I think they'll take first spot. I think Portugal also, they should have the upper hand. We'll discuss about why later, because I think we. I wanted to bring up Ginter. I thought Matthias Ginter was pretty good.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
thought he played well.
yes, and he was also doing Kimmich's job. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw one tackle when he's like almost close to the half
yeah.
line, and he's
He
still
was
making.
basically the right back, and I
Yeah,
think that's why Joachim Low played that system as well, because Ginter has played right back before, so he
yeah,
knows what to do there,
yeah.
the
But
positions that you're supposed to take and stuff like that. So,
I'm, yeah, I mean, the tackle was made, and I'm like, Kimmich, finally, awesome, man. Then he gets
hmm.
up, and Ginter runs back to his position. I'm like, what the fuck is Ginter doing there? Where is Kimmich? Like, he's basically doing like two jobs now, like
Yeah, yeah,
defending
yeah.
and doing your job, and you're just bombing forward, and you're not even giving one quality ball. Like, I
Yeah,
remember,
but I do you think Kimmich would have made a huge difference if, like the because France were completely on the counter, and they were like the moment Mbappe picks up a bit of steam, just punt the ball because the defenders can't touch him. You saw what he did with Hummels. Like,
yeah.
he was like 3 yards back, and it took him 4 seconds to get
Oh,
ahead.
how did he take?
Like,
I'm like, oh,
that is the craziest thing I've seen recently. Like, it reminded me of the Bale on Batra thing. Like,
I'm glad like he timed it so well, so he like
oof.
saved himself a lot of embarrassment. Already he
Yeah.
embarrassed himself in the first half, but yeah. The tackle
Yeah.
kind of made up for the own goal. You cannot blame
Yeah,
him.
you could give it a penalty though. Like it was a bit of a 50-50 because he went through Mbappe to get to the ball. Like
Yeah.
it's a fair decision. Actually, like in this case, the concept of umpire's call makes a lot of sense to me. Like don't
Yeah.
overturn that decision
Yeah.
because the referee thought that the ball contact was made on the ball. Like because I have the writing thing, right? So I have a football group. So those guys were discussing, and like funnily enough, if you saw the telecast, the replay wasn't shown, right? They didn't show the replay till a while, like at least a
Yeah.
minute or two.
Yeah.
And they were already on it, and they were like, "Oh, penalty, penalty! Referees are trash." All this nonsense was going on, and I was like, "You haven't even seen a replay. How the hell? Like, how can you decide something like this?" Like, I am not so confident in my decision making that I'll be like, "Oh yeah, this is this, this is that." Especially when you're a third, like you're viewing it from a broadcast angle. It's a terrible angle of a football pitch.
True.
Like
Yeah.
especially like you would know if you play, right? Like when you
Yeah.
actually are on a football pitch, which I was yesterday, funnily enough. So like it's a completely different dimension. The game looks completely different, and there is a that is a weird thing. Like that is why I never trust my eyes with this. Like with especially with offsides. Like
Yeah.
generally I don't trust my eyes with it because the angles are always wrong. So
True. Yeah. Oh, and now, yeah, the other game, like I think Portugal have also made pretty hard work of what they had to do.
didn't expect that at all. I think okay. First thing I want to talk about is that stadium. Like it was full.
Yes, it is. It's Hungary and it's supposed to be full. And I'm glad that I'm
Is
going.
it is it? I was very uncomfortable, and especially like Bleacher Report had a tweet about it, like, "Oh, 100% capacity. This is awesome. We're back to normal and stuff like that." But dude, like, go on Google and search Hungary and search what they've done with the pandemic and stuff like that, and it's not a good picture. Like, it's I'm not sure if we should be all positive about it.
Yeah.
And quite a lot of people pointed that out as well because of the regime, and we like I didn't know a lot of detail about the regime, but I knew about their refugee policy. So like those are red flags, right? Like so automatically you will start questioning like why is this happening. And I think coming back to the game, I think Portugal were shook in the first half with the amount of noise and the number of people that were around them. Like there was a hostility to it. Like it was like it reminded me of Vicente Calderon, like when Atletico is there, and
yes.
like there is a different kind of hostility that that stadium provides, unlike Westfalenstadion in Dortmund and or something like a Turkey, like similar to Turkey. That's the kind of the hellhole kind of atmosphere that is there.
True.
That's what it reminded me of. So the touches and the way the Portuguese players were playing, like they felt it. It looked like to me that they were a bit shook.
Yeah, I mean they made pretty hard work of it, but like once the floodgates opened, I mean they needed one goal, but I was like pretty shocked. Like Hungary just conceded like 3 in like 7 minutes. What did you make of the game? Like, I mean, of course, through human eye or on the paper, Hungary is not supposed to get any point in this group.
Yeah, and especially because they lost their best player, like their best player by a long margin. Like it's basically Shearer at Newcastle for that Hungary team, and like nobody around him, like, especially later on, like especially after their title hunting days were over. Like there's only like the gap between Szoboszlai and anybody else in that team is huge.
Massive.
And losing that player is such a big, like this team could have actually done something because they were well set up, right?
Yeah.
And like I'm really like after watching that game yesterday, I was really sad about the fact that we could not see Szoboszlai actually put his mark on the Euros, and because this kind of tournament, especially because he got in his transfer, he would have gone into Leipzig with a different kind of vigor.
Yeah.
And very disappointing for Szoboszlai. I'm very because they could have made a meal out. They made a meal out of it already, and with Szoboszlai, they would have had a chance to actually score also. So
maybe just add a little bit more.
Yeah, I have a question to ask you.
Yeah, sure.
Did you know who Rafa Silva was before today?
I always confuse. Like, did he play for AC Milan? This Portuguese guy, or that's
no, this guy's from Benfica, so he's not even Andre Silva. So
Rafa Silva. Is this the goalkeeper?
No, this is the guy who came on as a substitute and actually set up the 2 goals.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Exactly. No, that proves my point. That's exactly what I'm trying to prove, because suddenly in the like the text chain I was talking about, suddenly everybody's like, oh, Rafa Silva is so good. What a guy to bring on as a sub. I'm like, who the fuck was Rafa Silva before today? I had no idea this guy even existed. I
Yeah.
don't watch Portuguese football. And most of the people who are texting, I'm pretty sure they don't watch Portuguese football. Only one guy actually knows shit about it
Yeah.
because he's Portuguese and he
Yeah.
follows the league and he understands the league. So that guy saying those things makes a lot of sense to me. But for somebody who's look on the outside looking in, like I did not know who Rafa Silva was, and I was feeling like, am I supposed to know who this guy is?
Yeah. Mm. And of course, we have to talk about the great man, the leading
Yeah.
goal scorer for European Championships. It's a very strange case with Portugal. I've been like really observing it since
Hmm.
the first time I watched the Euros in 2008. They always seem to be doing so well in the Euros, and in the World Cups, they just don't turn up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because
What
like
did they do in the last one? I can't even remember. I don't think they did anything impactful, did they?
in the World Cup,
Yeah. What did they
no,
do? I can't remember. I can't
they
remember for the
lost.
life of me now.
They lost to Uruguay, and then there was just one image of Ronaldo walking off Cavani because he was injured. But like, let's speak about the
Ah,
European
okay.
Championship. 2004, they lost the finals to Greece.
Hmm.
In eight, I think it was quarterfinals or semifinals.
Okay.
Should be semifinals. In 12,
Hmm.
semifinals again, lost to
Hmm.
Spain. 16 won it.
They won it, yeah,
And now it's 20 again. So like,
and they're
yeah,
favorites, so they are in a good position to be. And this squad is stacked. Like there is no doubt
yes,
about it.
this
Like
this one.
the problem is their biggest problem is that their teammate, like their group mate, is the most stacked squad we've ever seen in world football. Almost like I can you tell me another world squad that has been ever been this stacked? I don't remember it.
Yo, I mean, yesterday, like I told you, there can be two teams who can beat them.
Yeah, exactly,
The
right.
B and
we've
C.
we've never seen this before.
And then actually, if you like, I was sitting with my friend and he was telling me that
Hmm.
France under 21 team can beat this German team. So that's how I don't know
Yeah.
what's going right in France in French football, or like what's really going wrong in German football. They really need to like, yeah, go back to the drawing board, like come up with a new philosophy
Think it's
because
not even German football's fault after a point. It's just that the France squad has so many players and so many guys they can call up. Like the number of players that they have stacked, like it's kind of ridiculous after a point. That's
yeah,
what I how I see it mainly. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, the last point I wanted to add was about the German football. Like they
Hmm.
created a philosophy in 2000 after the 2002 World Cup, and
Hmm.
it was rolling for until it was successful, which was like in 2014. So 12 years of
Yeah.
this philosophy, and now it's been like 19 years since that philosophy took off. So maybe time for like going back to the drawing board, coming up with something
Yeah.
new because football is
Well, yeah, you
changing
have
so
to
much.
modify your philosophies,
Yeah,
obviously. Yeah.
football is you need to evolve, and that's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, mm, Hansi Flick should be like doing it. Like forget
Yeah, I
the
think, but they have to go back to the drawing board at a higher level also. I think that's what you're suggesting as well, aren't
yeah
you?
yeah yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean,
it's
forget the
not just
next.
about the coaching and those things. Like, you have to look at it like what England have done. Like, they changed their philosophy also, right? A few years ago, the way they analyze talent and the way they developed it from a grassroots level. It's not perfect, obviously, but they started at least looking at it, and that's half the battle, isn't it? When you
Yeah,
actually try and find a solution, like just actually trying to find a solution is half the battle won there, and that's why
true.
this England team looks much better than any England team that have come before this, even the golden generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We have three three matches again today. Some bold
Yeah.
predictions. Are Turkey going to turn up today versus
Who are they
against
playing? Turkey
Wales?
versus?
Wales.
Okay. Yeah, I think Turkey should be able to take this failed teams on because I don't know. I'm not buying it, and especially because Gareth Bale is so overhyped and it's so irritating after a point. Like, yeah, that Champions League final goal and the winning and the time he was actually playing, it's 4 years now. It's almost 4 years. Gareth
Yeah,
Bale has not played consistent football for a couple of years.
yeah,
He is not in shape to lead at any team anywhere.
true.
So, and it showed because Daniel James on the other wing in that first game was much more effective than Gareth Bale ever was.
Yeah, yeah,
And I mean, I have I like this Wales team, but I think Turkey will finally turn up. I think they know they could have lost that Italy, like the Italy game. They went in knowing that they're most likely going to lose, and that's not the most important game in this tournament for them. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think now they can take on the other two teams and they can actually get their
Mhm.
results out.
But
So
do you think Switzerland can stop Italy? Maybe not get a result, not win, but get a result, get a draw versus
I
Italy.
think Switzerland can do pretty well because
Yeah,
I liked what I saw from Switzerland,
yeah,
and they were defensively better than I thought they would be. I thought they'll be run through, but that's not what happened. And Italy, like even though they won 3-0, they aren't a very spectacular team,
yeah.
like to be honest. And
Hmm. No,
I think
no.
they still haven't proven anything to me. Honestly, I'll be frank there. And let's see how it goes. Let's.
Yeah.
The
And
third match is Russia, right? I think Russia Finland play.
Russia Finland play the third game.
Yeah.
Not the most spectacular game, but hopefully nobody's collapsing on the pitch for this
Oh
one.
God, yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, that's
Well, it was nice to yeah, hear back from Ericsson. He's doing all well. So, but I think there are already rumors circling that that's the end of his career, which is
yeah. I
again,
think it most likely is because
like you
I was
mentioned,
listening to a couple of pods and they were suggesting that this he most likely will not be able to play again.
yeah, a 29-year-old, yeah,
Oh,
is coming to an end of the career. So, yeah.
yeah.
All right. Bold predictions for Russia, Finland first, Group B.
Uh I think Russia will get this one. I think Russia win 1-0.
Russia one.
It won't be a good game to watch in my opinion, but yeah, I hope I'm wrong, which I most likely will be.
I think I should
Yeah.
stop predicting because I didn't get any one of them wrong. I got the Portugal right.
Yeah, which one of us got the Portugal one right? Did
I
you
don't know.
say
I
3
said
0 or did I say 3-0?
I think I said 4-1, but or three. Yeah,
I think I was 3-0 then. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
we need to go back to it and check who was saying what. And
Yeah.
Wales Turkey. I'm going 2-1 Turkey.
Yeah, I think I'll take a 2-0 Turkey.
Hmm. And the final game. Oh, sorry, not the final game, but the one in between in the evening. Italy, Switzerland. I think 1-1 for me.
Yeah. Actually, I like the Switzerland team, but I think Italy will still pull out a result. Like it sounds a bit counter, but I actually like I'm not impressed by this Italy team, but I still think they'll get the result. So I think it's 2-1 Italy.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. On that note, as we are still mind blocked by the talent that is being produced in France, and
Oof.
some and the mess that German football is on, we will conclude on that note, and see you tomorrow with discussing the three games from that are happening today. All right. I hope you had fun. I hope you've made it at the end of this, and yeah, wish you a lovely, lovely, lovely Wednesday, and see you
Yeah, it is a Wednesday,
tomorrow.
isn't it? Yeah.